Mona and I discussed certain points within the story where it wavers, but never that far. I think that William, I always remember, that term brother's keeper. I think like, I always thought of it like he's his sister's keeper, but then when we watched it, I was like, no, it's sort of like Anne is sort of letting William help her in some ways, it felt like, which I don't know if it just, I don't, it wasn't talked about that much, but it felt a little bit like that in watching it. It was like they were both letting each other help each other in certain ways. But I think, yeah, it's a beautiful kind of quiet understanding that they have together, that I think we were able to capture, I think, because, Amanda's so, as a collaborator, so kind of open and curious and playful. And the way that Mona led the set was very much kind of a mirror to what the material we were working with. So it was all led with a lot of love and compassion. And so we were able to find that kind of thing where we were like able to just have these quiet moments where stuff wasn't as overly intellectualized and overly discussed, and more kind of like felt, and we were kind of felt a little bit like conduits, not to be too pretentious here, but it did feel that way.
I had one moment on The World to Come where I said, you know what, this blocking of the scene is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. Why don't we all just take the camera and walk into the field and do the scene there? And we did. And I loved that scene in the film, and I loved how natural and good that felt. But with this film, I had said to myself that I really want to reclaim the process. Mm-hmm. I want to be playful again. I know that's hard with, a really tight. We shot the film in 34 days. It's really. The time pressure is there, but I also was like, I want to play and I want to have an exciting creative experience, all of us together. So for example, with a lot of the movement, you have to approach it that way. You have to say, okay, this is how some of it is really specifically choreographed to camera, and I know where all the edits are, and that's how we're going to do it. And then other things like Hunger and Thirst, for example, we were playing with this movement, and then all of a sudden I was like, it's just one beautiful handheld shot, and that's all it needs to be, and it's so great. And then we also we have, I have another, we were constantly shooting. We're shooting every day. We're shooting on the weekends. So I think you guys were game to come and play in between, and we did a lot of workshopping. So we did have moments of real just playfulness and exploration, which is great.
I think there was a couple of times where you allowed me some freedom, and it's really hard to improv in this language.
I know. The only person who really can do that is David Kale.
Yeah.
He can improvise in this, this language. But yeah, Lewis was like, nope, that's not that. Wordless improvisation is what you get from me. Although I did keep one line that you improvised.
Oh yeah.
And I will take you there myself.
I will take you there myself. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that.
Yeah. Period accurate.
Moment. Yeah.
Take you there. Yeah. 6 words. I got a 6-word sentence in there.